I gotta go with my boy Nevdi, but that's mostly because, according to SRC, he's from Australia, and you gotta go for the Australian runner for sure.
I see. You know, it's like 7 a.m. ish, 6 or 7 a.m. in Australia right now. So, big props to Nevdi. You said right?
Nevdi, yeah.
For being awake this early just to race. 8 a.m. Whew.
Well, 8 a.m. is a little bit better.
Yeah, but it's the weekend. I gotta sleep in.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything. I woke up like at almost noon, so you know. But I mean, 8 a.m. is at least a reasonable time to be waking up.
I guess, but not waking up to race. Oh, he's in Brisbane, so 6 a.m. That's insane. I would never accept a race with that time. We have all 4 runners here now in their escape sequence from Ceres.
Which reminds me of one of the randomizer races I did, where the opponent I was racing apparently stopped their stream at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and our race was at noon. So at some point between, I think they woke up, but then took a break and passed out during said break. So that was a bit unfortunate.
Yikes.
But anyways, enough about us. We aren't that important. We've got everybody at really close coming out of series, which of course you expect. There isn't too much room for error, but means everyone had a decent series time.
So do you are we expecting any deviation between these runners? I know for the most part these runners will do the old route, but what about early ice? Are we gonna see that?
I believe Hyrule picks up early ice and early spazer, or okay. I guess and spazer. You know, there wasn't really late spazer.
Well, you could get late spazer on your way to Fantoon.
Yeah, that's the 4019 routing. You get spazer on your way out of Norfair going to Mother Brain. But unfortunately, we as a society have not advanced far enough to reach that level of optimization.
Yeah, we just, our brains are too small to comprehend.
Yep, everyone within a fanfare of picking up Morph Ball. So that's about 7 seconds.
So the interesting thing here is between Swap Space and Nevdi, is a 2-minute gap. However, Nevdi seems to be keeping up here, and actually isn't that far from Swap.
The other thing I want to talk about, but the other thing I want to mention is, even though Hyrule technically has the worst PB, he's got the Alpha Missile second. He's currently the second going up the elevator. And there's a pretty sizable gap between him and Swap in third. So, of course, it's still early, only a few minutes in, but that is definitely impressive.
Yeah, that tells me that Hyrule's been practicing.
Yep, you always like to see that. Gotta practice to get those sub-50s, which I believe one of us here on commentary got a sub-50 recently.
Oh, you?
Oh, well, yeah. Nah, but of course, Rasu with the 49-45 this morning, and/or he posted the splits this morning. I don't know when you actually did the run, but little shout out to him. He's pretty good at this game, I guess.
Thank you. It was this morning. I woke up, I put on my Super Metroid t-shirt, you know, the red one.
Oh, yeah.
Said it's time. As SnareRush is the first runner to reach the bombs with a pretty decent time. It was a sub 5-minute bombs.
Whoa, was it? I didn't look at the timer, unfortunately. But yeah, SnareRush has been having a really solid early game.
He makes real good use of the drops that BT gave for a really quick fight.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice Bomb Chorizo fight as well. So he's off to the races, as some would say.
We have Nevdi. Ooh, you know, Hyrule actually had a really good BT fight as well. Pulling in second.
We also saw
some difficulty with Alcatraz, though.
Yeah, we saw Snare get the first try Alcatraz. Pretty impressive stuff there. Unfortunately, Hyrule and Swap Space are currently having a bit of trouble. Hyrule gets it. We'll see if Swap can. That looked good. And Nevdi also gets their first try, so that evened out the bottom racers.
Yeah, looking really close for the bottom two racers.
Yep, just about a second away from each other. Maybe a tad more.
Yeah, it looked like Nevdi had some difficulty with the Terminator. And Snare is farming the Kago here, having only 3 missiles.
He might not have had missile... You might not have had missile drops coming out of... Or I think what he did was he missiled down the Green Pirates and then didn't get enough missile drops. So he had to get a couple more.
It's possible to enter here with just 2 missiles and then farm the Zeelas like Snare did. But
yeah,
you'd have to make sure that you're at full health or risk playing RNG games.
Yep, but if you are at full health like Snare was, they are 100% missile drops, so you can always guarantee you'll get missiles from them. As Snare gets his super missiles. With all 3 other runners right behind him.
I'm very impressed by Hyrule right now, who's keeping up. And oh, look at that moonfall! Fancy moonfalls by Hyrule here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that saved any time, but it was fancy. He's showing off. I appreciate it.
I'm slightly worried about Hyrule's health here. If he is intending to do more damage boosting throughout, you know, Prince Star and Red Tower and whatever, he might find himself in a health bomb situation after grade.
Honestly, I remember when I first started playing this game, I took a lot of damage in Green Hill Zone, especially this next room coming up for all of our runners, actually, as they're all in the same area. But so Hyrule needs to be a bit careful, but if he does the strat correctly, he should be okay.
Yep, he's looking for a clean mock ball here to avoid those side hoppers. And they do, what, 30 damage?
Ooh, he jumped too late. He should be okay, though. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's in danger here.
He is not looking great, but he's okay. Everything's fine.
He might choose to skip the deboost or avoid Kraid's Thorn, mini Kraid.
Yeah. Actually, you know what he should do here? This is some 300 IQ stuff, though. He should do the damage boost. That'll put him at in health bomb range, and so he needs to get out of the spikes. Okay.
Oh no!
But now this cactus here will give him a guaranteed health drop.
Yeah. But he'll also die if he's not careful, having only 8 health, now 28.
Yeah, he's As Nevdi is also stuck in the spikes there. He gets out, though. He's got plenty more health to work with. What actually happened to Hyrule to get so low? Did you see?
I think it was in the Alpha Missiles, or Early Missiles, Early Supers room, where he took some damage from waivers and side hoppers.
I was gonna say he might have also taken damage from the Metroid that does like I think 50 damage. It's kind of silly for an enemy that's just right there, but you know.
They hit really hard, yeah. So Snare is pulling ahead of the pack here, first to Kraid.
Yep, we got Swap Space right behind him, and Hyrule in third, with Nevdi not too far behind. Actually, Hyrule got health bombed by Mini Kraid, which is good, but it means he needs to go back and refill his supers. I imagine he's okay with that outcome, though.
Absolutely.
We saw a nice quick kill from Snare, and Swap was unfortunately a bit too early on the super missiles, but Kraid is one shot from death, I believe. But of course, in classic Kraid fashion, he never opens his mouth.
You know, it's really interesting. The first time that Kraid opens his mouth in the stand-up phase is RNG based, and you can't actually trigger him to open his mouth.
Yeah, it can. He can open his mouth instantly or wait quite a while, like close to 15 seconds, I think.
But
Hyrule needs to be a bit careful with his health as well.
Oh yeah, he's. It looks like he's got no supers, but Kraid is not brown. Something must have happened here. Hyrule is in danger.
Hyrule's in danger.
Where's Link Hero of Time?
Oh no,
please.
Okay. He's gonna get health drops from these.
Oh
no. Oh no.
And it looks like Hyrule will continue.
Yep, you like to see that, even if it, even though he took a death, it's nice to see him continuing the run. Gotta always better to finish out, I would say.
Yeah.
So, on the bottom side of the screen, you saw Nevdi get the quick kill where Swap Space did not. So that actually puts him in the lead there, while Snare is pulling away from the pack, I would say, with about a 30-second lead on both of the bottom runners.
Yeah, everything's looking pretty clean for Snare so far. I wonder if Snare is in the chat and realizes what the situation is with Hyrule. And if so, will we see any safety saves to kind of lock in that 12-minute that 12-minute lead?
We did see the Kraid tank from all the runners, which is technically a safety, but there's a couple runners that are in the tournament that are skipping it, but it's generally a good idea to pick it up until you start getting really good times.
We have Swap and Nevdi basically neck and neck.
Well, Swap didn't pick up the E-tank.
Oh,
so
I see. Okay.
he didn't pick it up when he entered the room, so he has to pick it up now. It doesn't actually save or lose any time, but it meant it was a little bit of false sync there on the bottom.
Yeah. Snare looking really good for time here.
Yeah, this is a
14-minute speed booster.
Yeah, 14-minute speed booster is actually really good. Like, not gonna lie. That's just straight up, like, a really good speed time. So, hopefully he can keep this pace up, because this is very good at the moment.
That's definitely PB pace. 14-minute is around a 50-minute time pace.
I mean, technically he's still on 43 pace, but, you know.
Oof. Yeah.
If you just, like, hands the controller to Jack, maybe. But yeah, I don't know exactly how good this time is, because I don't know exactly how good Snare is at like the later parts of the game, like Meridia and Lower Norfair. So there's still generally that's where you'll lose a lot of your time at the end of the run. But this is definitely a good start.
Yeah. And it looks like Swap regained the lead here against Nevdi. Although Nevdi is going to farm less than Swap, and now they're somewhat synced.
Yeah, not sure exactly what happened there. Although they were already really close. We might have seen Nevdi fail or get knocked down by King Kak or something similar.
Yeah. And Hyrule finishing off BT once again. And will be making his way back down to Chinatown. So for the bottom two runners, it's really looking like a battle of execution here. The lead changes keep happening. And I wonder who's going to come out on top.
Yep. Of course, these two, their PBs are only 2 minutes apart from each other, so this should be a close race. And right now it's delivering. Snare setting up for a sub 18-minute powerbomb time, assuming he can get the red tower hero shot or similar. Looks like he's going for Alpha Spark too, which you can do if you have Crate Tank, of course. Moment of truth. He was
fast.
I think he was too far to the left as well. He can. Okay, he got a nice backup red tower climb though.
Very nicely done.
And yeah, this is going to be about a 17 3x powerbomb. Nice damage boost, and yeah, 1735.
Very nice. And we see Swap and Nevdi still duking it out. The lead changes just keep happening. Nevdi's now in the lead.
Yep, but still within a room of each other.
Yeah, it's
well, now they're in a really long room, so now they're in the same room.
It's really impressive how they're managing to keep the race this close for so long.
Swap Space not even going for the hero shot. Looked like he went for the down back, but did not quite get it. Ooh. However, he makes it up before Nevdi does, so that puts him back in the lead. Nevdi gets up right after.
We have SnareRush opening the orange door to Moat.
Hyrule with a lot more health entering Green Hill this time, having a much cleaner room. And he is almost back to his unfortunate misstep last time. We'll see if he can win the rematch against Kraid shortly.
Well, this time Hyrule knows the secrets.
You see here, Swap Space having a much cleaner power bombs to Criteria elevator than Nevdi did, so he's actually pulling ahead quite a bit with about a 15-20 second lead now.
I'm actually curious as to why Nevdi doesn't have full supers right now.
He might not have had. Actually, that's true. He farmed up for a lot of supers in Norfair. Wonder what happened.
Yeah, he killed the 2 Kak attacks for 2 super drops, so he had 2 supers exiting power bombs.
Of course, you only need 4 super missiles, but it's generally preferable to have 5. I'm more worried about his health. He's a bit low. I'm not sure what Snare did, but it didn't look like he did the X Factor. Maybe he's just going for Doppler stress. That was a decent first Doppler. Of course, with practice, I imagine he's comfortable doing a 3-round Doppler Phantoon. And Phantoon should be 6 missiles from death? 6 missiles and a super? Maybe 7.
He gets it.
And Hyrule gets the quick kill on Kraid this time. He wins the rematch, and he's going to get his Varia.
So a clean Phantoon fight here is going to help Nevdi catch up. Oh, and Swap with a very nice X Factor there.
Yeah, Swap using the hybrid strat there. Getting a really nice X Factor.
Oh, but he misses the slow.
Yep, and Phantoon's gonna do a slow reappear. Because of course he is. But Phantoon is down. Nevdi needs to be careful. His health is not looking fantastic.
Yeah, Nevdi attempted the X Factor, but he got knocked out. I don't know, he still screwed the flame, but he still got hit without hitting Phantoon. That's really close to a Sunrise Surprise. I'm amazed it didn't actually happen.
Yep, good news is Phantoon is just a couple missiles and a super from death here, so Nevdi should be okay. Yep, and that's Phantoon down. Unfortunately for him, Swap Space had a really clean Phantoon fight, so he is going to be... He's going to pull a little bit more ahead, but there's still a lot of race to go.
And we see Snare now at bowling 2246. So it's going to be a low 23 gravity, which is a really good time. I dare say that this is a PB pace for Snare.
So I assume he's using Live Split, and if he is, and his the timer never turns red, then he is ahead of his splits.
Snare did get a really good 3-round with Dopplers. Yeah, that's PB pace for sure.
Yeah, this is I mean, if he plays really well at the end, this is still like 47 pace, but of course there's still a lot of time to lose. Shouldn't be expecting too much, but of course this is still a very good pace from SnareRush. And Hyrule doesn't have a super.
Oh no. Those Sovas can give supers if he's lucky.
Yep, and there's a missile down there, but unfortunately, that's not going to help him at the moment.
Oh no,
that's
he got a regular missile.
You can actually pseudo-screw these, the flying guys, I believe. Maybe you can't, and I'm just misremembering, but if that's the case, don't tell anyone.
We see Snare farming a little bit here in Hellway, having only 5 supers. If he doesn't collect anymore, he'll have some issues.
Got some good drops there, though. 2 supers in a row from the bug out of the Samus Eater. And Hyrule did get a super drop, so he can progress.
Oh, Snare gets grabbed by the Yapping Maw. It's still kind of dicey with 8 supers.
He gets a lot of health though, which is good.
Yeah.
Not gonna be in any danger. Where Nevdi especially, who's just now getting his gravity, has much worse health and may opt to take the refill at the bottom of Red Tower. He does have full supers though, so he will get health drops from the cacti. Or the cac attacks, if you want to use their proper name.
Cacti?
Yeah, the cacti. That works, I guess. Yeah, so technically you only need 6 supers for Batoon, but that's assuming you get a 1 round. And he can, since Snare has 7, he can only miss 1, assuming he hits all of the X Factor particles.
He'll have to use one for the green. Oh, he used one for the green door already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be really close here. But like you said,
that looked good. But I think he missed a super though. Oh, he didn't. Nice 2 round.
Oh, nice.
From Snare.
Yeah. Nice 3 super drops. So Snare definitely comfortable in super count going up to Dragon.
Yep. Swap space sparked into the ceiling to get that health drop right above him. Can't blame him. Gotta get that health. Looks like Nevdi did a lot of health farming too. He's back to 2 tanks, which is much more comfortable than he was at.
And it looks like Snare wants more ammo.
Might not be super comfortable with Dragon. It is probably the hardest boss to do optimally in Old Route. Don't blame him. And ooh, doesn't quite get the halfie. Didn't quite grab the ledge. But that's okay. It was close. Hyrule's actually doing a ton of nice moonfalls. You saw one there down into the pipe maze from Bubble Mountain. Cool stuff. It's actually, that does save a nice chunk of time. I know that one for sure. As Swap did not quite have as clean of a Batoon fight as Snare did. So he is going to finish the fight off with some charge shots. Still not too bad. Although he would have preferred a second super drop.
And this will give Nevdi a chance to catch up here coming up. If Nevdi can 1 round or even 2 round, he's definitely going to save a lot of time here.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with considering his ammo. Since Swap would like to have 1 more super for the doors leading to Dragon. He's actually going to farm these bugs. And he gets a super. Gonna want a couple more though. I didn't see what Snare did to Dragon, but I don't know if he got the opening.
Judging by Snare's health, I don't think they used the Shine Spark.
Maybe not. Just gonna take it safe. Slow and steady Dragon kill. Don't blame him. The Shine Sparks, looks like he's going for at least 1. Unfortunately, he sparks into the goop, so Dragon nopes right out of them. Dragon is looking pretty dead at the moment, though.
I think 1 more spark ought to do it.
Ooh, just barely doesn't get the short charge. This actually does give Swap space some time to catch up if he can have a really good Dragon fight.
Oh,
Dragon is somehow still alive.
Yeah, it looks like Snare is just sparking into the goop. The moment Dragon either grabs you like this or flies away or swims away from touching the goop, she becomes vulnerable.
I kind of want to talk about Swap Space. Got the nice rain dance setup for Dragon, and it looked like he hit all the particles.
Oh,
and Dragon
nice.
is down, so he catches up pretty nicely. And unfortunately, Snare is no longer on PB pace, but good news for the race is we now have Swap and Snare both within a room of each other. And Nevdi, if he can have a clean Dragon fight as well, is not too far behind. Also gets a really nice setup, actually.
Yeah. That must have hit for max. What is it, 2550 health left?
Yeah, I believe 2550 is the max. And Hyrule sparking diagonally, not quite what you wanted to do.
Wow, it was the max. So Nevdi with a 2 shine spark and 2 super kill. Very nicely done.
Yeah, really nice Dragon fights from both of our bottom runners. And I do believe Nevdi is on PB pace with that. Of course, like we said, his PB is about 2 minutes behind Swap and Snare, and he is only about 30 seconds behind after Dragon. So theoretically, he should be on the best pace relative to his PB of all the runners.
And we see Hyrule here farming up a little bit just before Phantoon. Phantoon can be really dangerous, so farming up's not really a bad idea.
Yeah, we did see Nevdi get pretty low, like down to 20-something health, I think.
Yeah.
On Phantoon. So, never a bad idea to get some extra health. Gonna get a fast, but unfortunately the shot gets blocked by a loose flame. So Hyrule does not quite get the optimal Phantoon that he might have wanted. And that's a good X Factor. Just needs one more. Looks like he's going for another X Factor. As Swap Space and SnareRush pick up their plasma beams. It's a pretty good beam, turns out. It does a lot of damage.
And Nevdi's not that far behind.
Yeah, Nevdi's just about to pick up the plasma as well.
I think Nevdi could have caught up just a little bit more if he didn't really stop to farm all of the cack attacks. He did have great health leading Dragon, so health wasn't an issue.
He didn't have great super missiles though, so that's what he wanted.
Yeah. But at this point, you don't really need that many supers up until you finish Ridley, right?
Yeah, you technically need 2. One for Ice Beam and one for the Wasteland door leading to Metal Pirates.
Right.
And I guess another one for the eye door, Ghidorah, yeah. But you usually get a super from the pirates.
Yeah, the Metal Pirates usually are very generous with ammo drop.
But yeah, it's definitely really tempting going through those rooms to just refill on your super missiles, but it's really not that necessary. So that's just a little piece of advice for anyone wanting to get into Old Route. Obviously, ammo conservation is good, but in that situation, it is technically better to skip worrying about your supers. You should be fine.
And Swap going for a Shine Spark here. Seemingly confident with their health count.
Well,
we know,
worst case,
can be really
you can just take the refill.
That's true.
I wouldn't blame him for doing that, especially during a race. So I'm interested to see how these lower Norfairs go, because Snare, Swap, and Nevdi are all within about a minute of each other. So things could be decided here in Lower Norfair. Snare is thought about not taking the refill, but decided he wanted it. We did see, looks like all three of the runners that have made it to their second Norfair trip are going the southern route. Oh, never mind. Nevdi is going to go the northern route. I got baited because he was selecting power bombs. I assumed he was going to power bomb the floor, but I guess he decided not to.
Must be a randomizer reflex.
Could be. But you don't usually go that way in randomizer. I guess, unless you're doing like full rando. Because, you know, I guess not a lot of people go to Croc these days. Which, I mean, it's a tragedy, I know, but what can you do?
So Snare misses the fast pillars, and we'll do the backup power bombs here. That will unfortunately leave Snare to do a bomb spread in the Key Hunter room. And I hope they remember, because if you use a power bomb there, you're going to be forced to...
Snare? Okay, he's okay. Unfortunately, Swap Space doing the same thing, not quite getting the fast pillars. The fact that Snare still has power bomb selected is a little bit worrying. Uh-oh.
Would you be able to bomb spread with power bomb selected?
I don't actually know. I've never tried it, but I don't think so. Because you can't bomb spread if you don't have bombs either.
And Snare doing the right thing here. Making sure that they bomb spread.
Yep, he's gonna be okay. Not gonna need the power bombs of shame. Actually, looked like he got a power bomb drop from somewhere. A little bit goofy, but he'll take it. I guess, yeah, those Duskigas, the big hoppers, have a low chance to drop power bombs. I guess Snare got a lucky drop from one of them, but unfortunately did not help him too much.
And Snare almost getting the Flower House space jump. Really good health here entering Ridley. I don't agree with this farm.
Yeah, he has really good super missiles too, if he wants to use supers on the fight. But he just wants to be sure he's topped off, I guess.
Yeah. In Snare's scenario, since Snare's opponent is HyruleHero, who unfortunately died early on, I guess taking the safety is not a bad idea.
The other thing to note is, since he did not have a very clean Dragon and is behind his PB already, he might just want to take it safe. Whereas if he was ahead of his PB, he might be willing to go more aggressive. We see Hyrule picking up the Aqueduct supers. That's cool. I like this safety, actually. I don't know if it's really a safety, but it's a nice extra super you can pick up. That and Crab supers are both about the same speed, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, have we seen any runners take the Crab supers?
Yeah, I know Zosty, whenever he's memeing in any percent races, picks up the Crab supers. So I know he likes to do that, but I don't know if we've seen very many people in this tournament do it. And Snare still having really good health exiting Ridley. Not going to need the E-Tank.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Swap got a bit low, but he should be okay too. We'll see. I don't know if he wants to pick up the E-Tank or not. And Nevdi is just starting his Ridley fight. Or not just starting, but a little bit behind. And yeah, Swap is going to pick up the E-Tank. Looked like Snare went for a damage boost there. Would have been pretty cool, but did not quite get it. Oh, Nevdi. I don't think Ridley's dead. Oh, never mind.
I thought Ridley was over dead.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Oh, look at this. This is a very, very gutsy play for Nevdi, having only 163 health, skipping the Ridley E-Tank. Have to be very careful.
Yeah, so Nevdi might know that he's a little bit behind, so he knows he needs to take risks like this. So I like it, but he needs to be careful for sure.
Yeah, skipping that E-Tank saves you roughly 12, 13 seconds.
Well, it saves you two door transitions and an item fanfare, so close to 15, I'd say. Ooh.
Oh, and Nevdi K goes through the spiky thing.
That makes things a lot scarier.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was Nevdi, I would charge shot here.
Yep, he's gonna take this room nice and safe. One charge ice shot will freeze these guys, so no need to worry.
So he's slowly losing that advantage of skipping that Ridley E-Tank.
Yeah, Hyrule setting up for Dragon. Unfortunately, did not get the opening and does not have any super missiles, so we might be in for a bit of a long fight up here.
Nevdi getting really good key hunter patterns there, no damage at all.
Yeah, Hyrule's actually having a pretty good time with these sparks though, even though he missed the opening one. Oh, I say that, but well, I think that one was too high, but it looked like Dragon took damage, so maybe not. Although Shine Sparking Samus's hitbox is actually a little bit lower than it looks like from the sprite, so it probably did hit.
Alright, this is the moment of truth here for Nevdi.
Yep. And he's just going to take it safe. I like this, but it is going to be a bit slower than he would have liked. And yeah, he's through.
Swap praying to the elevator gods before taking a ride.
Yep, praying for a smooth journey up the elevator. Looked pretty good to me, so, you know, I'd say that's worth. And a nice Shine Spark kill on Dragon from HyruleHero. Didn't get the blue suit, but also didn't get chain damage, so it's a fair trade-off.
And it looks like Snare missed the green gate twice and opted to return to the pipe bugs to farm back the 10 supers.
That's I don't know about that one. I think you're generally okay with drops with 8 supers in Turian, but that's okay. Or I guess it would be 7. But either way.
If you grouped all of the Metroids, you would use up 4 supers. Or you could also use 5 missiles at the last room, so 3. It put you at 5 supers left, and the chances of Metroids giving super drops are very good.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just group rooms 2 and 4 and kill them with missiles, you should be okay. But no need to take the risk, I suppose.
You're right.
So, you know. Especially since, like we've said, HyruleHero is quite a bit behind due to the early death, and he is behind PB pace as well due to Dragon, so no real need to take it risky at all. He can play this as safe as he wants to.
It looks to me as if Hyrule didn't actually reset his timer when he died.
No, he didn't. He didn't restart all the way. He restarted from Sebas. He didn't go back a series.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, he is going to be about 10 minutes behind all of his splits due to the 10-minute time loss, but, you know, he's going to finish. And, I mean, that's really what you like to see. Like to see runners finishing the race, even after an early death.
Yeah, we are in the we are playing in a Swiss format, so even losses could count here in terms of point differentials for ties. So I don't know how that works out in terms of like a forfeit versus a loss, if that matters. But finishing off a race is always a good thing, even even if it looks like there's no hope.
Yeah, I haven't actually been following the tournament super closely, so I don't know how the point system works, but yeah, just in general, it's good to finish, get more experience in the later parts of the run, especially with no pressure. You can go for, you know, maybe more risky strats that you wouldn't go for on PB pace.
Yeah.
Swap is actually catching up to Snare here.
Snare
having a cleaner Metroid room.
Yeah, Snare had some really bad RNG for supers and had to take it carefully, using regular missiles on the Metroids in room 2 and I think in room 1 as well.
Oh, I see. Looks like they're both okay now. Even if Swap doesn't get a super missile from these 3 Metroids, he has plenty. Oh no, there was a super.
There were
pick
tons of supers. He's still
he's
fine.
okay though. He's okay. Yeah. He can do this without refilling still. Although he only has 1 missile to spare. So maybe he wants to refill anyways.
I suspect he will open up the pink door and then refill.
Yeah, that is the traditional strat there.
But what happens if he gets the baby skip?
Well, we hope we don't get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Unfortunately, we are not going to see a baby skip today. Yeah, come on. That wasn't our fault, chat. It did drop supers. He wasn't able to pick them up. But we didn't curse them with bad drops. We're clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, you saw him. He shot open the red door and then refilled his missiles. Doing the safe thing. This gives him much more room for error.
Yeah, he'll be able to super the Ghidorah as well as the next pink door.
Yeah, this would be the normal ammo you would have, which you see Snare, who got all 10 supers, has here at Mother Brain 1. So, yeah, he can take this how he normally would.
Interesting thing here, Snare decided to keep the Rinkas on
Yeah, I'm
screen.
gonna have to stop you. Nevdi? Oh, never mind. He was actually doing really well on the baby skip, but unfortunately did not quite go far back enough on that last jump, I think.
Yeah, keeping the Rinkas on screen creates a lot of lag when you're shooting at Mother Brain.
Like, guys, stop saying I'm cursing everything. Come on. I'm innocent. See, if I'm cursing anything, then Hyrule's gonna go right at the elevator instead of left to get screw attack. Oops, Snare needs to be a bit careful. but he damages himself down, and Mother Brain 2 is done for him.
I'm not a big fan of damage down to 400. Oh wait, it was 300. Never mind. I I need to get glasses or something.
Obviously.
Oh, Swap taking a hit from Ketchup. Oh no!
Oh no!
I don't think Swap saved.
I don't think he did either. Oof. I think he was okay on the first hit too, and unfortunately could not survive the second. That feels real bad. That is not good.
Don't you put this evil on us?
You know, you just, everyone's a critic, you know? You can't say anything without people saying that you're the cause of everything wrong in the world.
Swap in the chat. Which commentator called
Neither of us called it! We didn't even call it! Oh my goodness. You said Swap is fine like 5 minutes ago. Oh, that's tragic. Good news is, Nevdi is going to be finishing up Mother Brain 2, so that is at least good news for Nevdi.
And
he is, I believe he's on PB pace as well.
Yeah, he's definitely looking
Not
at
sure.
PB pace here.
His PB is a mid 54. I don't know if this is PB pace, but it's close.
It's really close, yeah. If he can get a clean MB3 and a clean parlor, I think we'll do it.
Unfortunately, Swap Space is going to forfeit from the race. I don't totally blame him. He died right at the end, and he would have to do everything over, which feels extra bad, but still a bit unfortunate. Yeah, this game's hard. It's not an easy game. Oh, Hyrule. I was not looking at Hyrule, but
what?
He also died.
I saw him fighting Ridley.
Oh. Did he die at Ridley?
No.
Oh no.
I mean, you called it. You said Hyrule would go right.
What?
And he went right as Ridley swooped, and he died.
I did not do any such thing. Alright, well at least we get some good news as SnareRush finishes in first place, official time of 53 minutes and 52 seconds. And HyruleHero is also going to forfeit, unfortunately.
So it's up to Nevdi now. Unfortunately, this is not going to look like a PB for Nevdi.
Yeah, not quite, but this is still a good race time. Only about a minute behind his PB at the most. Ooh, gets really trolled. I've never actually seen that in the Leodox room. That was really silly.
I think if you keep that pirate on screen, it starts shooting at you.
Yeah, I guess. That's not quite ideal.
I heard it.
It's fake news. That's alternative facts. Nevdi is going to finish. He's going to save the animals. Nope. Going to finish with an official time of 55 minutes and 21 seconds.
GG.
GG. Looks like we will be having at least Nevdi for an interview. But yeah, both runners who finished were able to finish about a minute behind their PBs, which is definitely really impressive, especially for a race setting.
Hello.
And we're joined by SnareRush. GG, congratulations on your win.
And Nevdi. And Nevdi's here too.
Oh, and Nevdi.
Thank you very much. Sorry, 1 second.
Hey, GG.
There we go. Yeah, GG's everyone. Sorry to the people who died. It sucks.
Yeah,
Indeed.
That's brutal.
Hmm.
Usually
So-
I'm on the receiving end of that, so I
Yeah.
don't know how I feel about that at all. Like, I saw him go in at 5 tanks.
Hmm.
After that, when I missed the baby skip, I'm like, that's it. He's got 5 tanks on Mother Brain, then far out. He never does that, hey. That's just so
So what? I wasn't actually watching. What happened?
I don't know. I guess catch up or something.
I suppose so.
Yeah, Swap took 2 catch-up hits.
Damn,
Ooh.
it's rough.
I nearly died in Mother Brain too. I was thinking, yes, reset, run, let's go.
Just do it all again.
Just run it back.
Yeah.
So I have some questions. Nevdi, you were really close to your PB for most of the run. Knowing that, were you doing anything different? Because it is also a race. Were you like trying to cut time here or there, or were you trying to keep it the same as the PB run?
Yeah, it's one thing I've been thinking about lately about this. I run a different timer on these races because I don't want to treat it like a PB run. I want to treat it like a race, like you say, because it's different. So I didn't even have PB in my mind
Oh, I
at
see.
all. So I just raced it for a race. After Fantoon though, I wrote it off as no chance to PB. My Fantoon was hot garbage. I just choked really bad on that. But
you
yeah,
had
I
a
came back
really
like you said.
You had a really good Dragon fight. I think you got the optimal rain dance, and it was a 2 spark and like 2 super missiles.
Yeah, it was 2 sparks, 2 missiles. It was really, I never hit the right spot on him, but yeah, it felt good. So I was coming back well, and I'm like, all I need is baby skip. But yeah, you're probably right. I would have been close to PB if everything was a bit cleaner, even with that Fantoon. But no, didn't do anything different. Just tried my best.
Okay.
I kind of have a similar question to SnareRush. I noticed, at least before Dragon, you seem to be on like really good pace.
Yeah, Dragon.
What your
I don't know.
thoughts
What
were on
happened. I normally get like the X Factor and the Spark at the start of that, and I failed. You know, when you sort of run back and forth before the fight and just test out your short charges. I think I failed every one, and I was like, oh shit! Suddenly I can't short charge, so I'm just gonna hope it works. And yeah, I just went to shit pretty much, but somehow survived it and pulled out ahead. But yeah,
It always works that way. I think like you're so good at short charges, except when you're in that room.
It's insane.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure if you look back at my last 10 runs or something, it's been absolutely fine. Like short charge, X Factor, Spark, whatever. But yeah, not today.
I wasn't even looking at your screen, Snare. You were so far ahead. I'm like, yeah, he's gone. he's
Yeah, I
out.
think I
And
lost
then
him,
after
yeah.
Dragon, yeah, man, that's crazy. Everything goes really bad at Dragon. Hey,
Yeah.
So.
And I filled up on supers beforehand because I'm not that good at this, like doing the Spark sort of mid fight. So I just fill up on supers and just like shoot a belly, but that didn't work either.
Yeah, wow. That's frustrating. Hey, it's either really quick or just takes years.
It really is. Yeah, it's never just okay.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm out. I got a rando in a second, but GG's guys.
Okay.
Thanks for
Good luck.
hosting as
GGs.
always. Thanks for commentating. Thanks to the runners. GG to swap, man. I'm sorry. I don't know how I feel about that at all. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens next time. GG guys. Thanks.
GG,
All right,
Steve.
GG. And you have any final thoughts or comments there?
Not really. I'm just glad. Well, I'm glad I finished a run because my first race I died to Mother Brain stupidly. Because basically I didn't save, and I realised I forgot to save again this time before Mother Brain, which is dumb, but whatever. It turned out okay. So, but yeah, just GGs to the runners. Thanks for hosting. It was fun.
All right, GG, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Derp, anything? Any other comments?
Nah,
All
mate.
right.
Nah, mate.
All
Nah,
right,
mate.
Nah, mate. So taking a look at the schedule here on Speed Gaming 2, nothing for the rest of the day.
Yep. If you want to enjoy speed gaming action, this is not the channel to do it.
And
We do have a race
this,
at 9 p.m. Tillamore versus Phazon Knight at 9 p.m., which I already said. I don't know which speed gaming channel that's on, though.
Yeah, it's great. So it'd probably take over Speed Gaming 2. It would be the next one on the list. And then we have a 10 o'clock with SnareRush versus Cintiq. So 2 more races today. It looks like both races will be pretty exciting ones. And other than that, that's all I have. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Derp for commentating, Snare for the race, and Speed Gaming for the restream.
Yeah, thanks everyone. See you next time.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.